This pressure that a lot of us are facing for marriage, coming from our parents and coming from our relatives, no matter what marriage party you attend, no matter what occasion it is, what festival it is, there's always this question on our head: when are you getting married? As if this is the only thing that is going to fuel their lives. I mean, it's so much pressure. I know, I understand that. And I thought that I'm going to talk to you from my heart on this topic. Whatever I feel, whatever I've gone through, if I got married at an early age, I'm going to answer to all of those questions to you. I'm going to tell you exactly how things shaped for me, if I'm happy in what I did, and is it okay to not marry early? Because the answer is yes, by the way. As per Indian standards, I married late. Yeah, and I'm okay with that. You marry just for the sake of getting married, not very comfortable with the person you're getting married to, and you just marry because there's pressure on you and you succumb to the pressure, that immense pressure that is coming from all directions on you. There are very good chances that once you are into it, once you're married to that person, nobody really cares. Then you're on your own, and then you'll be put through this another pressure to live your marriage and to survive whatever comes your way. And that is another pressure that's gonna come your way. And it's just me talking from a very honest point of view. Like, this is what I feel. It's very important to take reins of your life in your hands and take control and take charge of what happens in your life as much as you can. If you listen to others and you take decisions, the chances are that once you take the decision according to them, you are in this alone. And most of the times, there is a lot of struggle. If you're not happy, you just do not know what to do then. It's your entire life is a question mark. Now, talking about myself personally, I was 18, 19 years old when I remember people started talking about my wedding, because I was the eldest daughter and we are just 3 daughters. We didn't have a brother. So yes, my parents were being asked this question, कब सोचा है, कब कर रहे हो इसकी शादी, तो लड़की बड़ी हो गई है. So I used to hear those things about myself. And I remember my father taking my side and telling those people, like telling them away. Okay, she's getting her education right now. She's studying right now. Please don't talk about her marriage right now. I was doing CA. So yes, I was 19 when I had already started doing CA. I was 23 years old or so when I completed CA. And again, my parents were not asking me to get married even then, because like when you get your degree, you're like, अच्छा ठीक है, अब तो शादी अब तो होनी है, अब क्या next step? अभी तो you're qualified chartered accountant, अब तो लड़के लाइन लग जाएगी लड़कों की, ऐसी बात होती थी, right? But yes, I did not get that pressure even then. A few years went by. So, but finally, parents start to talk to you about these things. First of all, what I feel is that you should never get married only because people are asking you to. Times have changed. Whether you agree to me or not, if you will look around a little and if you will talk to people about this, you will find out that times have changed, mindsets have changed. Okay, so you should never succumb to the pressure. You should be sure about whom you're getting married to. Spend time, find out more about that person, see if you are aligned with each other, if your future plans are aligned, if your thought process about vacationing, about starting a family, about investments and all of that is a little bit in sync, if not 100%, because otherwise these small things can become big issues later. So find out more about how they think. Their line of thinking should match yours. It's very important, because even in the love marriages, when people are just deeply in love and they get married, it's not easy. It's not easy once you are in a formal arrangement with each other like that. You're married and families are involved. So you can't just break up, okay? You have to then be very, very sure about making this work. at this point, when you're not still married, it's still easier to take a call, right? So be careful. That does not mean that you say a no only for the sake of rebellion. Don't just be a rebel, okay? Because you're asking me to get married, hence I'm saying a no, is wrong. That again is wrong. Because, again, you're doing something not out of love for yourself, your self-love, or your love for somebody else. You're doing this only because of a negative emotion, the emotion of fighting back, the emotion of proving a point to somebody, and most of the times that somebody is your own family. You are putting them through something and you don't even have a good reason. Don't do that. Have a good reason. If you're working on your career, sit them down. Talk with them. Talking can explain so much. It can solve so much. We really do underestimate the power of good communication. A lot of times we're just rebels, and hand on my heart, I was a rebel. There were many years I was just not ready to get married only because everybody was asking me to. And then there was a time in my life when I did want to get married and things were not falling in place. There were things that were wrong. My career was total screw up. And then finally I did get married according to Indian standards. I was late in getting married. I don't consider myself late. Bollywood, I was still very, very young to get married. But I know how Indian society is and what age we consider for marriage. So I did delay my marriage, okay? Now talking about the biological clock, I don't know if you're aware of this or not. So for men, no problem. But for women, problem. You do have your biological clock, which is running out on you, which is a true thing. You need to take care of that. Now, there is a very happy thing that has happened scientifically for us, and that is freezing your eggs. So you can freeze your eggs. A lot of people are doing that, by the way. Just in case you're not aware of this concept, just read about freezing eggs for women. A lot of these women who have not found a partner, and they've turned 33, turned 34, 35. So now they are like, okay, I'm not getting a partner, but my biological clock is running out on me. What do I do? So they freeze their eggs and they keep it in an egg bank. I feel it's a commendable thing to opt for, because I've read, wherever I've read positive reviews. I support the idea of getting married. If you ask me if a yes or a no, it's a simple yes. Yes, if you find the right person, marriage is a good thing. I've always told this to my friends. Person is more important. Marriage is secondary. Because we do want to have a good life, right? What is all this fight all about? Why are we fighting and struggling so hard? Because we want to have a good life. Nobody understands what a good life is. We're just struggling. We're just running a race to gain and achieve that good life. We don't really have a definition for it, but yes, all of us have different definitions for this concept of good life. So yes, for a good life, a good partner is important, because otherwise you're lonely. Most of us are lonely without a partner. There may be a few who are pretty chill about it, but for me, I needed somebody. I was clear on that front. Talking about my experience with how many people I met for Shadi and how it went for me, I met a lot of boys for Shadi. A lot. I was pressured into it. And if I would not go and meet, there was one whole, I do not know a better word, so yeah, drama in the house. So I had to say yes. And there were many incidents where I did go and meet people. I don't know how many of these still watch my YouTube channel. I have no idea. But yes, there was this guy I liked, I remember. I liked him. And he was probably the only guy I liked because he was smart. So he was just all right, okay? So I thought, ठीक है, जो इतने देखे उसमें ये सबसे सही लग रहा है. So I said कि हाँ ठीक है, we can consider this one. But he said a no. And he said a no because he gave his father the reason, and his father communicated to my father कि लड़की बहुत हवा में उड़ रही है. भैया हम उड़ सकते हैं तो हम क्यों ना उड़े हैं. अच्छा खैर, anyway. So yes, So लड़की बहुत हवा में उड़ रही है, ambitions are too high, and I don't think I see a good life with her. Okay, all right with me. I'm very happy that we didn't go ahead with that. So yes, that was one bad thing that happened around then. And then I found somebody, and we were very good friends for 4-5 years, and then we got married. So that's how it turned out for me. Now, talking about the predictability of a good marriage, it's absolutely a big question mark. Nobody has an answer to that. It's very difficult to predict if your marriage is going to be turning out to be a nice one or not. It's always a gamble. As my mother says, that shadi to jua hai. So no matter you do a love marriage or you are into an arranged setup, it's always a jua, it's always a gamble. So yes, anyway, even if it is a gamble, if you do feel that you have come across somebody whom you like, it's worth it, I feel. But a lot of people, again, they don't opt for marriage these days. So I'm nobody to tell you if it is a yes or a no. It's a very complex question to ask anyone. But I do feel that अगर अच्छा पार्टनर मिल सकता है तो सिर्फ रिबेल बन के मना नहीं करना चाहिए. If you are going through something like this where you are getting a lot of pressure from your family, please talk to them, make them understand, borrow some time, show them this video. Tell them that there's this girl, she delayed her marriage by a lot of years. She was working on her career. She made a career and then she got married. I spent my own money, good chunk on my wedding. I mean, my shadi was a very simple kind of a shadi. It was a COVID wedding. Very few people could come. But again, whatever money was spent, it was my money, most of it. So yes, if you get to do that for yourself, it's a great blessing. So it's okay. It's okay to work on your career and then get married, because ek point ke baad, you will be there for yourself, even if somebody else is not. I feel building a career for yourself is a proof that you love yourself. It's a proof of self-love. So that's all about it in today's video. I think I did help you in some way in finding your answers. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to find out your answers on your own with your own struggle. It's better to take reins of your life in your hand. That's all about it. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.